The year was 1993. A wave of crime had spread over England, and the killer was caught later that year, and then went dormant for 31 years. But they're back. Feathers McGraw. McGraw? They're back. So let's take a look at their history. But doing this, we'll need to go back all the way to the 90s. Okay, but not that far back though. You see, the young penguin was always meant for a life of crime. He knew it ever since he killed his parents. Whoa! Where did that theory come from? Look at his eyes. Look at those beady little eyes. And tell me he's not a killer. But it took him a while to build his portfolio. He needed to build up the courage to go big time when he tried to rob a museum. It was his first big time robbery, but he was caught, he was seen. See, I think he was caught by CCTV of the 90s, and I don't think that you could tell if it really was a chicken or a penguin. I think he made his own wanted posters to convince the nation that he was actually a chicken. And that's how he was able to get into Wallace and Gromit's home without being spotted, because everyone thought he was a chicken. So what did he do afterwards? Well, he searched the land. He knew that he couldn't do this alone. He needed someone brilliant, but also extremely, extremely dumb. Like, intelligence stats high, wisdom stats low. He'd found the greatest inventor in all of England, Wallace. And what brilliance befuddled him was that Wallace had made trousers with remote control. He literally had remote control trousers. But you see, where Wallace was kind of dumb in this scenario, Gromit, his perception was high, and he figured out also the penguin, Feathers, kind of mean to Gromit. Wasn't a very nice guy in the end. More evidence where he killed his parents. Feathers knew Gromit was onto him, so he knew he had to find some way to get him out the picture. So he kind of bullied him out. I don't know what Wallace is on, but the fact that you've had your dog from having its own room, its own bed, to putting it in a kennel outside when it's ready, there might be some mind control going on. That's a theory, mind control. Because I can't lie, Wallace has built a literal spaceship. He's probably the greatest engineer of our age. NASA needed about a billion people. Wallace just needed himself to get, and all he did was get cheese. But that's a theory for another day. I tell you. Anyway, the story is well documented. Wallace and Gromit captured the penguin and took him to the zoo, a maximum security prison for animals. But alas, it really didn't work, because less than 2 years later, he'd already escaped. Because when it's documented in Gromit's cell, it says Feathers was here. It literally says Feathers was here, meaning Feathers is no longer here. They were not cellmates. Feathers had gone. Breaking news! Well, it's not breaking news, but I was watching a close shave again, and look, I found it. He's here, and it all makes sense in my brain now. It all makes sense in my little brain. This entire fiasco of events, the entire metal dog, the Terminator dog, it was Feathers. He was smart enough. In his 2 years, he became as clever as Wallace, manipulated this dog to ruin his chances of being happy, and tried to get revenge. It was all Feathers. This entire film, it was Feathers. So, what does an evil genius do when they've escaped prison? They lie low. Hang on, I think I took that incorrectly from the Batman. But he's a high-value target. He's on the run. And where does he run to? Well, he actually tries a very clever tactic. He starts breaking more penguins out of different zoos to try get people off their scent. And this I can prove, because in the whole werewolf fiasco that's extremely well documented, as there's a whole documentary on it, it's a very well documented event in history. You can see him in the background of this shot here. But I say to you, that is not Feathers. It doesn't look like Feathers. Zoom in, enhance. Okay, we can't enhance that much, but we can zoom. It doesn't look like Feathers. I tell you. It doesn't. I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like a different penguin, or it might be Feathers, but from like a motion blur. But motion blur doesn't exist in this universe, so I don't think it's Feathers. And the most compelling of all, he's not even wearing his hat. And I'll tell you, when does Feathers not wear his hat? When he's in hiding. Okay, it's starting to fall apart a bit, but it's fine. Keep with me. Then, in 2008, a decade later, we find another clue. He's still on the run, and he's being hunted by a zoo. But I don't think this is the same zoo that captured Feathers. The walls are too high. It just doesn't look right. Now, I ask you, why would a zoo be looking for a penguin? Did he get recaptured and let out? I don't think so. This might be the biggest leap of the video yet. I don't think he's planning revenge on Wallace and Gromit. I don't think that at all. I think this is a complete misdirect. Where are you least likely to find someone? Right where you think they might be. That's where they'll be hiding, right where you think they might be, because you won't look there. And his brain is so big, he's acting as the zoo, and the zoo is saying it's looking for a penguin, but if it was actually looking for Feathers, then it would use the hat to make sure you know it's Feathers, because it would be in the public mind. It's genius. His big brain, it's genius, I tell you. Now, 2023. Where is he? Well, he's still alive. I know this for a fact. I've seen documents, footage that chickens are organising.
They're organised, I know it.
And now, 30 years after his arrest, I feel that he's planning to get revenge. Not on Wallace and Gromit. No, not on Wallace and Gromit. But the world! You see, with the chickens performing a coup against the chicken farms and the chicken factories, I believe that Feathers is infiltrating them and trying to organise them himself, so he can lead a revolution of chickens across the world. And truly, he is among them. I think he's resorting to guerrilla tactics to take down the world, and that is my opinion on Feathers McGraw and why we need to be careful of him. So what am I telling you? You must know it's all propaganda, from not just the most dangerous penguin of the UK, but the entire world. Good luck, people. It's the most insane video I've ever done in my life.